All right, Gemini, here we go. Here's the energy coming through. Very nice, very, very nice. The Ace of Coins. So new, practical, real beginning. I like this one the most. I'm okay with the Ace of Cups. That's great. And I like the Ace of Wands, but the Ace of Coins or the Ace of Pentacles for me is like the best ace to be getting. And you guys have it front and center, which is perfect. So new, real, practical beginning, especially in terms of work or even relationships. This to me has the potential to be long lasting. Whereas there may be like a little bit of a question with that when it comes to like the Ace of Cups, right? Because emotions are fleeting. This to me feels like it has the potential to go the long haul. But perfect signifier. Now in the past, the High Priestess. So talking about intuitive abilities. There you go. And for a lot of you, it is about, tapping into those abilities for sure. Intuitively knowing what is right for you. Now with the High Priestess too, this is, things that are being revealed to you as well, like hidden knowledge, hidden wisdom. I look at the mirror and I see like, somebody who knows, like they know all, right? Hi, Michelle. Hi, it's good to see you, hun. And hi, Morgan B. Thank you for being here. All right, so now Gemini. The other thing with the High Priestess is, again, and I say this a lot with her, this is a passive energy. The way that you open up intuitively is by sitting back and observing everything that is going on around you. You're not looking at direct action here. But I love the energy between the two, and especially with supernatural showing up. I think that's perfect for you guys. Gemini, what? Why? In the present, the devil. That's no good. No good. Now, that worries me. The devil strips us of hope. For some of you, you may know that you're in a bad situation, but I don't know. I feel funny about the Ace of Coins being here and seeing the devil in the present, Like, are you truly seeing things for what they are? And for some of you, you just may already know that you're in a bad situation, but you're choosing to do it anyway. Like, the new beginning is there, but I don't know. I kind of get the feeling that you're just needing to stay with this for a minute. The reason why we do this is because we think that it's comfortable. It's what we know. But again, it's no good. No matter how you look at it, the devil is no good. But I think you already know. And obviously with this being in the present moment, you're already in it. But I think you do know the way out of this though too. It's just, listening to that inner voice and that inner guidance, right? Oh, wowza. Future conditions, the Ten of Swords. So it's going to come to an end, and it's going to come to a painful end for some of you. The Ten of Swords is no good. No. It's good and it's bad. Like, it's a good thing that this is coming to an end, but the bad part is that for some of you, it may be a very painful ending. I don't like the Ten of Swords, but at the same time, this may be something that needs to happen for you. There's something negative here that, you're stuck with right now that is no good for you, right? Like, And unfortunately, it looks like it's going to come to an end. But, even with this going on, again, you have the Ace of Coins front and center. Like, it's there, but you also know that you got to end the bad stuff first before you move into this new beginning. My goodness. Oh, wow. So, your best path to follow, judgment. Needing to make amends and move forward, right? And the other thing too is this is the review. Now, for me, when I look at that part of judgment, I get a little bit iffy because, I can't think of too many people, and I say this all the time, that would want to go back and review half the shit that they've done or half the shit that they've been through, you know. But Judgment is saying that, you know, there needs to be the review. You need to make amends with the past and you need to move forward here. It is about rebirth. You know, I worry about where you're coming out at here with the Ten of Swords. Like, I almost feel like asking the question, does this really need to be painful? You know, for some of you, yeah, there's just no other way around it. Now, on the other hand, if you know you're in a bad situation, then, you know, it doesn't necessarily have to be, you know, as painful. It doesn't need to be that bad, you know? But I think for some of you, it's just it has to be that way and that's it, basically. But Judgment is saying that, you know, this is time for you to clean the slate, right? And start moving forward here and make different judgments on yourself and your situation. You know, it brings me back to acceptance, especially if you feel like there's something wrong with you and there's not. Whew, man. All right. In your environment, the Eight of Wands. So when you're looking at the Eight of Wands, fast-moving energy, communication. But, you know, I kind of get the feeling, though, for some of you, maybe getting a little bit grounded. But what I worry about is that you're trying to move too quickly through this. And there may be damage done because it goes through too quickly here. And that's why Judgment is sitting here. Like, you're really going to have to go back and review this stuff, especially if, you know, you're not wanting to repeat the same cycle again. You know, that beginning is right there. It's right there, but it's almost like, you know, you're being thrown through this, like, hell first. I would be careful with the Eight of Wands. You know, and for some of you, this is bad communication. Like, bad communication, you know, especially when you're communicating just to get temporary satisfaction. But I don't know. I feel like for most of you, this is a situation that you're wanting to move quickly through, but it's just not going to work that way. You know, because Judgment, right? Your hopes and your fears, wanting this shit to end out successfully, right? Having it completed in a successful way and not be so painful, which is understandable. Now, with what I'm seeing here, I mean, I'm looking at Judgment. I'm looking at the world. I'm looking at you ending a bad situation here with the Devil, but in a really difficult way. It's almost like, I don't think a lot of you really know what the next steps are. Like, the world is still there. Things are still going to complete itself out. It's just that with what you have going on around this new beginning, it's like, how do I get there? And with the world being here, things have the potential to complete out. It's just, you know, what steps do I have to take to get there? You know, there's a few more things that you have to do before this is done and over with. You know, and again, unfortunately, it's going to be like a painful thing here. You know, and that's definitely not something you want to be hanging on to. But you certainly don't want to continue to be like trapped with this negative stuff though either. You know, but again, I think that you're wanting to move too quickly through it. You know, and again, it goes back to Judgment being here. Like, there needs to be time with the review, you know, before it can be fully completed out for you so that you can go forward with that clean slate, you know. Oh, and then the outcome, the Three of Cups. Now, and I'm going to clarify this because this bothers me a little bit. But then again, the Three of Cups to me is the support system, right? These are the people that want to celebrate your accomplishments with you. But when you're looking at the Ten of Swords, you know, it kind of bothers me a little bit. But then at the same time, you know, these may be the people that actually give a shit about you and pick you up off the ground with that Ten of Sword energy being there. They also may be the people that are responsible for, you know, giving you this new beginning. You may be stuck with something that's really, really bad right now that may be stripping you of hope. And you know it. With the High Priestess, you're hoping that the situation ends quickly, but it's going to end in a bad way, like a painful way. And I hate that damn Ten of Swords. It drives me nuts. But, you know, you're going to have to go through the review. You're going to have to let things go, make different assessments and judgments here, and go through that rebirth. You know, things will complete out, but I kind of look at that Three of Cups and I'm like, right? So I do think that for a lot of you, first of all, the Queen of Swords. If that ain't you, I don't know what the hell is, right? Cutting through the bullshit, getting straight to the point here. But then the other part of this too is you have to be careful about how much pain from the past you hang on to. You don't want to be too brutal, right? But I just think that that's you. And I think it's going to come through either a group of people that is helping to kind of like, and I hate saying this way, like scrape you off the ground here, right? But these, to me, feel like good people. They don't feel like a bad thing coming out of this. Not with that Ace of Coins being there. And again, you know, I'm looking at you with the Queen of Swords, but then you have the Three of Wands with this. This, to me, is saying that you're taking the right action. It may take a little bit here for you to see how things are going to develop out of the actions that you took. But, you know, again, with the Three of Wands, you should already know what to expect here. So I think where, you know, you may be in a position where you're not really sure what you need to do to complete this out. You're going to get there, and it's there. This stuff is going to be, you know, successfully done for you. But not until you've hit rock bottom, unfortunately. You know, and again, general reading, it's not going to apply to everybody here. But something that is negative is going to end in a really difficult way for some of you. You know, and I don't feel like this is anybody intentionally trying to like stab you in the back, so to speak, because you already knew about this, you know, with the High Priestess coming through. And for a lot of you, maybe just ignoring your intuition when it comes to the situation. You know the new beginning is there, but I think that you need to go through this process here with the Devil. But I do like where you come out at. And even if we're not talking about people, there's going to be a reason for you to celebrate here with the Three of Cups. Because again, you're looking at a new beginning, but not until you've hit rock bottom, which is the suck-ass part of this. But it's not bad, especially with the clarifiers being there. The Queen of Swords, hell yeah, that's you. Kicking ass and taking names, right? But then also, you know, starting to see some different things develop in your life after this completes out. It's like you move a little bit quickly through it. I don't think that this is something you're going to be able to move quickly through, but you get to a point here where I think that you're a little bit more clear. You're a little bit more clear here with the Queen of Swords. And you start making the right decisions because you're waiting to see how things are going to unfold. All right, Gemini. We're going to take a look at the soul trees to see what other messages we can get for you guys. And then I'll be pulling one card from Whispers of Love and then one from the Romance Angels. A new path emerging and reconnect with spirit. Like, seriously? Do I even need to say anything, right? Break free. Obviously. We know this. We know this, right? We know. You got to break free of that shit because you know it's not good for you. New path emerging. Ace of Coins. Ace of Pentacles. Hell yeah, there's a new path emerging for you. And this I like seeing. This is one of my favorite cards, especially when it says that there is a new path. Where you may feel like you're stuck on one, a new one is going to start opening up for you. But you need to reconnect with spirit. And again, supernatural and the High Priestess. Pay attention to your intuitive abilities and your intuition. They're going to guide you in the right direction. This is always good advice, especially if you're feeling stuck. Right? And you need to break free of it. My goodness. Whew. All right. We are going to pull a card from Whispers of Love first, and then I'll be pulling one from the Romance Angels for you guys. Be supportive. Make a genuine effort to show you care. Now, if you're dealing with something outside of a relationship, right? I don't know. I kind of feel like this has more to do with the people that are supporting you. Again, back to the Three of Cups energy. But, you know, you also want to support them as well, right? If somebody is going to be there for you and help support you and kind of scrape you off the ground, you want to be there for them as well. But now, if this is something outside of the relationship, right, you need to show that you do care. Regardless of what you're going through, if you want to keep a good relationship going, obviously. But I don't know, be supportive. Like, I feel like what you need is the support. Oh, man. What is happening? Everybody's coming in with some really hard stuff, hard stuff. So unrequited love. There's not enough attraction or chemistry to keep this relationship going. Ugh. That bothers me. Now, you know, when it comes to that, right, if you're not feeling it, you're not feeling it. I mean, it's just as simple as that. Now, on the other hand, though, you know, there may be something that you can do or the other person can do to get things going again, but this is suggesting that right now there's not enough to keep a relationship going. Bothers me, Gemini. I don't know. I feel like you have, you know, a separate group of people here that are going to be picking you up and getting you back to who you are, honestly. Things will start completing itself out, but you can't move too fast through this energy. And in terms of relationships, I don't know, Gemini. I feel like the supportive thing here needs to be from the other people around you. You know, and if there's not enough to keep a relationship going, then, you know, it's going to be up to you to bring that attraction and that chemistry back, or to make the difficult decision to say, okay, well, you know, maybe there just isn't enough here. Oh, my goodness. All right, Gemini. I'm sorry, you guys. I've been kind of missing the chat while I'm going through the reading here. Yeah, that damn Ten of Swords pisses me off. I hate that energy. But I don't, for Gemini, I just don't think that that's something that you guys are, you know, going to stay stuck with. I don't think that that's even possible for Gemini. It may sting a little bit, but I don't know. I feel like you're going to pick yourselves back up here, especially with you coming out with the Queen of Swords. That's what I like to see. You know, getting back to that ass kicker, right? Thank you so much. Thank you so much, you guys, for being here. I really do appreciate it. And any information you guys are needing on personal readings, or even wanting to go back to listen to the podcasts that I did with Psychic Gen B on Psychic Divination Hour, all that stuff is going to be in the description box below for you guys. I made sure that all that stuff was filled out before I started these readings. So thank you so much, you guys. I love you, and I will see you in a little bit. I will be coming back to do Cancer, and hopefully we'll get Leo and Virgo in before the night is up. Yeah, the one thing that I know when it comes to Gemini is you guys are super resilient. You can go through the worst of the worst, but the way that you handle it is so different than any other sign. You're okay, like you can bounce back. You know, sometimes you may move through things a little bit too quick, but, you know, ultimately you guys are always okay.